Hi, it's me, Void. Um, I am testing out a new recording and editing setup. Oh, I'm a bit loud, aren't I? We'll fix it in post. I'm testing out a new sort of setup and a new way of recording, and so I kind of wanted to test it out properly while also getting some work done before I go away in a few days. So we're doing that, and the first game that I thought of that I wanted to try playing again was Kyle is Famous, the free edition, because I can't find a paid edition, nor can I find money to purchase the paid edition. I don't actually remember anything about this game. If you have seen this channel before, then you may have seen another playthrough of it, which I privated because it was, in the most polite terms possible, absolutely awful. It was terrible. I was in my other room before I switched with my sibling and had this room. I was using a laptop quality camera. This one's considerably better. And a not very good microphone. Let me rephrase. A microphone that is good, not for this purpose. It's not meant for streaming, it's meant for singing, and it's not meant to be set up like this, and it sounded awful, and it looked awful, and I was like, hi guys! Today we're playing Kyle is Famous! And I was just nervous and a bit of a wreck. So I privated that, and we're gonna try this again, because I remember that this game was funny. And I don't feel like getting into a full playthrough of a super story-driven game yet, which I have coming up. So, yep. Ow. So, Kyle is famous. What's he famous for? I guess that's what we find out. That's cute. The curse is cute. Oh, I forgot to turn the volume of the game back up. Kyle woke up. He is famous. Oh, he's already famous. Alright, more. Kyle is the host of the most popular talk show in recent memory, Stay Up Late with Kyle. Good on him. Stay Up Late with Kyle has grown in popularity quickly in the last year, and the public has noticed. Fuck yeah. Inside has called Kyle a most excellent dumpy white man. As in has a dump truck of an ass. Top Tech noted that Kyle is inspiring youth to explore STEM fields with his dump truck of an ass. Nobody knows how it happened. It's a medical anomaly, and youths are exploring STEM fields to try and find out how the fuck Kyle was born with such a dumpy. Most other talk shows are dedicated to discussing Kyle and his personal details, such as his dump truck. Most online videos are best of clips taken from Kyle's latest broadcast. They're on onlyfans.com/KylesDumpy. The eye of the world is upon Kyle. Tonight is Kyle's most important guest interview yet. I'm not sure why I'm playing with my pen. Most important guest interview yet. Stay Up Late with Kyle will be featuring Rachel May. She is a kind and lovely philanthropist. Wonderful. She is dear to the hearts of many. This interview requires preparation. Oh, don't worry, Kyle, we'll get you ready. Kyle cracked his eyes open, knowing today is his last chance to prepare for the interview. We're going to ruin this for him. Kyle has 30 hours left. He must choose his actions wisely. Alright, cool. Kyle's first decision of the morning was made wisely. He withered away in bed. Kyle decided to stay put and wither away. Kyle withered successfully and died. Oh, shucks. Kyle is now a ghost. This does not relieve him of his responsibilities. This is such an interesting and deep narrative. I'm forgetting my words. Look into society as a whole and the capitalistic society that we have. Even dead, you cannot rest. I'm kidding. He's just a ghost. Get out of bed anyway. Kyle exited his bed, as a ghost, and took a quick glance around his bedroom. He also checked to make sure that his dump truck of an ass had transferred into ghost form. It has. Scavenge, open the closet, sit at a desk, exit bedroom to hallway. This kind of reminds me of the, that old Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy text game, which is just as painful as you'd expect a game written by Douglas Adams to be. But this kind of reminds me of that. Probably because all we've done is wake up and look around, and that's also how that game begins and how a lot of things begin, actually. So I don't really know what I'm saying. Scavenge Citadel. I don't know what scavenge means. Let's go with that. Kyle quickly crouched down on the floor, realizing his immediate need for bugs. Kyle started to pick between the fuzz of his bedroom carpet, hoping to catch a stray beetle or two. Num num num. Soon he had a handful of various insects, dead and alive. Eat immediately or save for later use. Now, breakfast is the most important meal of the day, but I reckon we should save them as a little snack for later, in case he, gets the nervous jitters, because apparently when you're nervous, if you eat something, it helps calm you down, and this is a very important night for Kyle and his dumpy, so... Oh, that crunch sound effect was, simultaneously very satisfying, but also the grotesque image of him shoving a handful of live bugs into his pocket coupled with it is really something. Kyle stashed the wriggling mass for later use. Back to bedroom. He's returned. Oh, I'm a ghost and I've got a ball of bugs. Oh, a ball. This is a pen. That's a nice sound effect. Excellent. Do I get to draw something? I hope so. Open the closet, sit at a desk, scavenge. Let's open the closet. Kyle opened the closet. It was dark and he could only really see his hanging shirts. Okay. What is this Five Nights at Freddy's ambience playing? Kyle decided to take some time to choose the perfect outfit, knowing how important appearance is. A slick suit. Skunk pasties? What the fuck is a skunk pasties? Jeans and swimming goggles? The pinnacle of fashion. Or a suit of armor. Well, you're already a ghost, so you don't really need armor. A slip. Skunk pasties, I don't know what it means. Kyle chose the pasties made out of mashed skunk flesh. What the fuck is a pasty? Hi, it's me in the editing room. I did quickly look up pasties and, I'm stupid. I know what they are. I've just never heard them referred to as pasties before. I typically hear them referred to as, nipple covers, because what do? They cover your nipples. That's what you call them. But pasties works too, I guess? What is a pasty? Is that some sort of American slang? Is that British slang? Is that Australian slang? What are pasties? Okay. Why are they made of mashed skunk flesh? Alright, let's go. I'll Google pasties later. Getting the slimy garments to stay proved difficult, so Kyle opted to stick them to his body with hot glue. Fair enough. You don't have a body, you're a ghost, but I'll let you do what you're doing. I think he's in denial. At least he's still got his dumpy. Should we sit at the desk? No, this is an important day. Kyle walked to the small hallway that connected the rooms of his apartment together, check the locked door, leave the apartment, move to kitchen, return to bedroom. Well, you've already got a snack for later. Check the locked door. Kyle walked over to the strange door in the hallway, but found quickly that the door was locked from the inside. Yes, I was hoping this would happen. Force the door with forward? You can't do that, you're a ghost, so let's float through as a ghost. Oh, we've only got 14 hours left. Oh shit. Kyle used his ghostly powers to walk straight through the door. Kyle found himself in the room he stashed the various items sent to him by fans. Check sewing machine. Maybe I can sew the skunk thing to me. Pasties. What are pasties? Kyle walked over to the dilapidated sewing machine. Its box was only half removed. Sew bug puppets? That is not what I was anticipating. Let's go with that. Kyle started sewing dead bugs together to make small actuated finger puppets. Kyle crafted a bug puppet for each finger. He named them after guests he had previously interviewed on his show. Ah, excellent. And here we have James Corden, the bug puppet. Hello! I don't know where that was going. Kyle found himself in the room. He stashed the various items sent to him by fans back to the hallway. Oh, connected the rooms together, float through side door, leave apartment, move to kitchen, return to bedroom. Leave apartment. Let's get out and get to... Walked out to the middle of the road and took a long pondering look around him. Visit tech store, visit tech store or visit downstairs neighbor. Why can't I go to work? There's only 7 hours left. Alright, let's visit our downstairs neighbor. Scare them as a ghost. Kyle approached his downstairs neighbor's door and knocked. Hello? Have you seen my dumpy? Would you like to see my pasties and my bug puppets? A middle-aged woman named Gabby answered the door. Wonderful. Greet and start conversation. Good morning, neighbour, said Kyle cheerfully. Gabby looked at Kyle expectantly. Ask Gabby about Gabby or ask Gabby about Rachel? Let's find out about Rachel. Gabby, Kyle asked, what are your true thoughts about Rachel May? Oh, Rachel? Gabby said. She's a wonderful woman. Her generous acts have inspired more good work than bad. Gabby trailed off, not meeting Kyle's eyes. Oh. Is she a little bit of a outwardly philanthropic, inwardly... What's a bad thing that rhymes with philanthropy? I can't even think. Gabby trailed off, not meeting Kyle's eyes. After several uncomfortable minutes of silence, Kyle turned around and left. Excellent. Oh, it's showtime. Oh shit. Kyle hurried to the set. Per normal, he ceased to be a ghost before he arrived. That was part of my thing. Sitting across from his host chair was a glamorous woman with an air of genuinity. Genuinity? As Kyle approached her, Rachel looked up and smiled. Approach Rachel. Good evening, Kyle, she said, looking him in the eyes. I've been looking forward to being here. Kyle responded, scream and spin in circles, or answer politely. Now, we have the bug puppets and pasties, so I feel like we need to combat how odd we're being with a little bit of politeness. And I as well, Rachel answered Kyle, extending his hand in greeting. You are a most welcome guest. Shake hands. After other mild exchange of pleasantries, Kyle and Rachel were prompted to take their places for the broadcast. She hasn't mentioned my bug puppets on my fingers, which she just shook. Okay. Or my skunk pasties yet, so... After a moment of seating, the studio lights brightened and the cameras clicked on. Produce bug puppets. Kyle slipped his bug puppets onto his fingers. Hello, everybody, he said, wiggling the puppet he had named after himself. I'm Kyle. And I'm Rachel, Kyle screamed, wiggling a different finger. I would scream, but it's like 10 o'clock at night. You're so much better than me! I know, Rachel, Kyle wiggled. He looked meaningfully at the human Rachel. Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! Said one of Kyle's other puppets. I'm super fat and Kyle interviewed me last week. What the fuck, Kyle? And I'm super irritating, said another finger, and not very attractive. Rachel stared at Kyle, incredibly disoriented. Kyle, she asked. What are those puppets made out of? Kyle throws both hands at Rachel's face, puppets pointed at her eyes. We aren't puppets, Rachel, he said, scrunching his fingers up and down. We're Excuse me. We aren't puppets, Rachel, he said, scrunching his fingers up and down. We're people. Rachel plucked her puppet off of Kyle's finger. Hey, what the fuck? Kyle, she exclaimed. This is several dead bugs patched together. Accept us, Rachel, said Kyle, scrunching. We need acceptance. He's going with that ghost thing from earlier. Rachel stood and walked out of frame. In a moment, she returned with a bag. She plucked each puppet off of Kyle's hands and tossed them in the bag. What the shit, Rachel? I spent all morning working on those. I spent like 3 hours on those. Actually, I should have paid attention. I was a fucking ghost. Okay? I had to die, become a ghost, and float through a door in order to make those puppets. And now you're just tossing them in a bag. Kyle, leave the bugs alone next time, she said. They weren't dead when I shoved them in my pocket. Okay? It's not like I intended to make puppets out of dead bugs. Only some of them were dead when I crunched them into my pocket. God. Rachel left the frame again, taking the bag of puppets along with her. Kyle, suddenly all by himself without my best friends, was unsure what to do. After a few minutes of hemming and hawing, Kyle resorted to telling jokes for the remainder of the broadcast. Fans did not notice much difference between this and previous episodes. Huh. I'd love to see this show. Furthermore, why would Rachel May agree to be on this show and then proceed to trash my bug fingers if she was going to, if she knew what she was getting into. I feel like this is on Rachel May for not researching my show well enough and not looking into the sort of person that I, Kyle, am with my ghost Dumpy. Kyle prepared an average episode. Okay. Yeah, I had a feeling that if we went really weird, it would be like an average episode. So, you know, let's see if we can get him really ready. Alright, Kyle. Reset to interview, repeat. Reset fully. His first decision of the morning was made wisely. Let's speedrun this. He exits the bed, took a look around the kitchen, opened the closet. It was really dark. Choose an outfit. Slick suit. Kyle miraculously crammed his dumpy body into the suit. The chest pockets were filled with random knickknacks. Awesome. Awesome. Kyle returned to the center of the bedroom. Sit at desk. Kyle made his way over to his desk and sat down. Write notes for interview. Kyle wrote down his first question. Are you a mother? Am I a mother? Is your mother a mother? Are you a mother? Kyle wrote down his second question. Beef. Mashed or blended? Ever eaten a raw egg whole? My friend has done that. He used to have a really good instructional, informational video on how to eat a raw egg whole on his YouTube channel, but he's since deleted it, and I got some quite mad at him for it. What are some diet tips? Kyle wrote down his third question. Hang on. What's your funniest story? Do you ever smile? I purposefully ran... I can't do it. I purposefully ran over a puppy. Kyle wrote down his last question. What's your guilty pleasure? What's your guilty pleasure? Do you feel guilty? Are you guilty? Oh, careful. My desk is not equipped for that sort of abuse. What is guilty? Blah, blah, blah. I know I'm an epic gaming YouTuber, but my desk actually isn't made for slamming your hands down on. It's kind of got this little wheelie bit that's not very well held up, so maybe don't do that. Kyle ripped his page of notes out of the notebook and got up from the desk. He made his way over to his desk and sat down. Oh, he was already at his desk. Check in desk drawer. Ah, you got your notes. Turn to the center of the bedroom. Exit bedroom to hallway. Go to the kitchen. Open fridge or check pantry? Let's open the fridge. Kyle opened the fridge intending to find something to eat. Eat crust on the fridge wall. Eat the fridge. Prepare breakfast or eat condiments. Let's prepare breakfast. Kyle constructed a breakfast of poached eggs and toast along with a small fruit crop and a grilled sausage in like an hour? Eat. Kyle ate his breakfast slowly and thoughtfully, enjoying every bite. He felt refreshed. Man, it kind of sucks doing this like the proper way, but I really want to see what happens. Kyle walked to the center of the kitchen, checked pantry, returned to hallway. We've had breakfast, returned to hallway, small hallway that connects the rooms together. Leave apartment, walked out into the middle of the road and took a long pondering look around him. Visit downstairs neighbor. Gabby, hello. Hi. Yep, okay, that was just the same. Visit the tech store. Kyle walked into the clean white tech store. He was greeted by Techno Jim, an elaborate cutout mascot playing soft music from a small microphone. Steel tech... Oh, I remember this from last time I played. I think I stole Techno Gym. Okay, ask attendant for free samples. Oh, never mind, it's showtime. Let's go. Kyle hurried to the set. Sitting across from his host chair was a glamorous blah 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 blah. Good morning. Answer politely, and I as well. Shake hands. More. Start broadcast. Good evening, everyone, said Kyle, looking up at the camera. Welcome back to Stay Up Late with Kyle. Tonight, I have the pleasure of interviewing the lovely Rachel May, who needs no more introduction. Kyle motioned to Rachel, who smiled and waved at the camera. Hello, Kyle, she said. I'm so glad to be here. I'm sure we'll have a lot to discuss, so we might as well dive right in, said Kyle. I am very ready, said Rachel with a winning smile. Kyle produced the notes he had taken earlier. What are some diet tips? Oh, do I have to tell them in the order that I wrote them? Are you a mother? Rachel. I and many others would love to know. Are you a mother? Kyle looked up from his notes. Well, being a single woman with a career, she answered. That's not something that has crossed my mind. Rachel smiled genuinely at Kyle. Can you tell how genuine I am? Very reasonable indeed, said Kyle. He referenced his paper of questions. The next one was diet tips. Rachel, you managed to keep such a thin and healthy figure. Ugh, said Kyle. What are your best diet tip? Well, a good diet starts with a plan, answers Rachel, and don't break it. Cheat days can turn into a habit, blah, blah, blah. But, she continued, that doesn't mean a midnight snack here and there isn't allowed. Ha 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 ha. Canned laughter. This is boring. Kyle looked at his flabby self, decided not to comment, and moved on. Wasn't he, like, just fat-shaming someone in our last run? If you had bugs on your fingers, you'd be fat-shaming other people. How do you feel about that, Kyle? What a dick. I kind of don't like Kyle. What's your funniest story, I think? You've been involved in a lot of different things, said Kyle, but what's your funniest story? Well, that's a great question, Kyle, said Rachel. I think the story I always remember is the first time I tried to make dinner for my family. In the soup I made, I swapped out the water with milk and tipped a whole jar of salt in the pot. Ha ha ha. While my family was sick from trying to eat it, I swiped their things and locked myself in my room. Rachel laughed elegantly. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha. Kyle decided to move on. Kyle asked another question. What's your guilty pleasure? We all have one. What's your guilty pleasure? Oh, well, that's an easy answer, said Rachel, dipping pickles in chocolate sauce. I'd rather you hadn't told me. It might sound strange, but it's tangy and sweet at the same time, and I eat it far too often. I accidentally licked my mic when I stuck out my tongue in disgust. Rachel smiled sweetly, and after reading his final question, Kyle looked up from his paper. Well, Rachel, he said, I think that's all I was planning on asking you. If that's the case, Kyle, may I ask you something in return? Asked Rachel, smiling one more time. Do you prepare for your interviews in advance? Because you seem very together. Before Kyle could answer, the cameras shut down. The broadcast was over. Kyle returned home knowing the interview had gone well. But as he lay in bed and drifted to sleep, he felt that perhaps something was still missing. Very well. Kyle prepared very well. Oh, we can unlock more as we go. Okay. Alright, okay, reset. Let's exit the bed. Let's sit at the desk. Let's check in the desk drawer. Side drawer of his desk and grabbed one of the items stored there. Assorted change. Kyle scooped up the change scattered around the desk drawer. Back to room. Scavenge. Ooh, resources is new. Kyle quickly crouched down on the floor, realizing his immediate need for resources. Kyle began to comb through the damp piles of filth and mold on his floor. Let's just imagine that with that squelching sound. Wonderful. Began to comb through the damp piles of filth and mold on his floor in search of helpful items. After finding and eating a few bits of crumbs and old cheese, Kyle found something much more important. Indeed, it was the corpse of Harry, a friend that had gone missing years ago while at Kyle's house. Kyle was glad to see him again, but was unsure of whether to interrupt such an important day with Harry business. Let's deal with Harry. Kyle hoisted Harry onto his shoulder and took him outside. Kyle began dragging Harry's body down the street, growing many stairs. I think it's just because they're all staring at his dumpy and they're like, oh my god, Kyle, the most famous dumpy in the world. Look at that ass. Kyle knew exactly where he needed to take Harry's corpse. On a lovely playdate. Just the two of them. Just like old times. And he's got that change in his pocket. They could go on a lovely little date. Kyle and Harry... Oh, he's dead, isn't he? Never mind. Kyle and Harry started at the arcade. Kyle used Harry's arms to operate the joysticks and push the buttons. After 5 or 6 different games, the two friends had enough tickets for a single candy bar. Ha ha ha. They took their prize to the local park for eating. Kyle tried to feed some of the chocolate bar to Harry, but Harry seemed to not have an appetite. After eating, Kyle noticed a nearby playground. He dragged Harry over. Kyle tried to figure out a way to swing Harry on the swing set, but lacking the ability to grip, Harry kept falling out. Ha ha ha. Classic. Instead, Kyle started to lug Harry to the top of the slide and shove him down time and time again. After this, Kyle isn't just going to have a dumpy, he's going to be so buff. He's going to be so strong. Finally, Kyle took Harry to the movies to see as many popular films as their pocket change allowed. Kyle had plenty of pocket change. He eagerly approached the ticket window. Kyle bought 2 tickets to a love romance. After getting inside, Kyle left Harry to go find a restroom. By the time Kyle had finished using the restroom, he had forgotten that he brought Harry along. As you do. Like, you spend a whole day with the guy, you're like, yeah, you went home. I remember him going home. Kyle watched a love romance by himself. Harry's corpse sat on a bench in the atrium. While Kyle was in the movie, a beautiful thing happened. Harry's corpse, imbued with the power of friendship and love, was reanimated. Only for this zombie Harry to find out that his best friend, who had reanimated him with the power of friendship and love, has abandoned him in the atrium of a theatre to go and watch a romance by himself. Harry's old, rotten flesh gained colour and life. His fingernails regrew. His missing eye came back. By the time the movie was over, Harry was able to greet Kyle with a large, friendly hug as his old self. Kyle was confused, but delighted to have his long-lost friend meet him on his way out of the theatre. The two made plans to get drinks together and parted ways for the day. Kyle returned home, forgetting about the interview with Rachel. Wonderful. That's nice. I feel like the interview with Rachel, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to interview Rachel in society, but I feel like we have to get past the societal pressure. Take a shot every time I say society. There's a hole in my sock. We have to get past the societal pressure to interview Rachel May. It's all a metaphor, see. We all have a Rachel May in our lives, right? And we all have a Harry in our lives, a corpse that we just need to put some more love and friendship into to revive. I feel like that's really deep. That's a message we all need to hear. Reset! Kyle's first decision of the morning was made wisely. Exit the bed. What if we just don't do anything at home? Let's go steal Techno Gym. Steal Techno Gym. Quickly, before the attendant could acknowledge him, Kyle grabbed Techno Gym by the shoulders. Finding that Techno Gym's cardboard feet were bolted to the ground, Kyle started to heave upwards. After several tugs, Techno Gym was broke free, leaving 1 foot and 1 leg behind. Kyle glanced at the attendant, who was staring, bewildered, and ran outside. Kyle walked out into the middle of the road and took a long, pondering look around him. Returned to apartment. Kyle walked into the small hallway that connected the rooms of his apartment together. Can I just go back to bed? No, I can't. Let's bring some dead bugs as well. Save for later. Stash the regulating mass for later use. Let's go to the kitchen, and we are going to check the pantry this time. Kyle wanted to access the pantry, but found it was locked with a small keyhole. Oh. Whatever. Fine, we'll eat the crust on the fridge wall then. Kyle started scraping streaks of crud and spots of mold off the walls of his fridge. After wadding it into a crusty, moist ball. That's 2 words in a row that so many people hate. I actually don't mind them. Kyle popped it into his mouth and began to chew. Fun facts with Shizzy. Several minutes of crunching later, Kyle finished and swallowed the ball whole. It felt sticky in his stomach. Kyle walked to the center of the kitchen. Return to hallway. Why would there be a small key? In the desk, perhaps? Turn to bedroom, sit at desk, check in desk drawer. But we only have 1 hour left. Let's bring a flashlight. Kyle grabbed the flashlight, but after jiggling the switch, he found out it was out of batteries. And we're out of time, so. Kyle hurried to the set, sitting across, blah blah blah. Rachel's smile quickly turned to shock, as she realized Kyle had not put on clothes that day. Yeah. That's not the weirdest thing that's about to happen, Rachel May. Not by a long shot. Kyle waved and smiled broadly. Rachel uncomfortably averted her eyes. Kyle started making his rounds around the room, greeting each crew member, none of whom looked at him directly. As it became apparent that Kyle had no intention of leaving, Rachel made some excuses and exited the set. One by one, the crew followed suit. Kyle was left all alone. I stole Techno Gym. I wadded the bugs into my pocket. I ate mold from the fridge. All for everybody to leave me because I forgot to put on pants. Do you know how much weirder this day could have gone if you guys had just stuck around? Kyle prepared by being a nudist. Yeah. Let's just do all that again, but we'll remember to get dressed this time. Inspect rusty locker. Kyle knelt down and inspected the old rusty container that had been in his closet for ages. It was locked, but had a blade-shaped slot on the top. Okay. Well, we're gonna get dressed. Jeans and swimming goggles. Kyle decided on a fashion-forward, casual style. He could barely see out of the goggles. Let's try and do everything that we did before. Hallway. Takes an hour to walk into your hallway? How fucking big is your house? It must be massive in order to fit your dumpy around the place. Kyle hurried to set. Look at how weird this day is gonna be. We've got casual clothes, techno gym, bad food, and a bowl of bugs. Sitting across from him, blah blah blah, approach Rachel, blah blah. Good evening, Kyle, she said, looking him in the eyes. I've been looking forward to being here. Interview Techno Gym instead. Kyle roughly shoved Rachel out of her seat and placed Techno Gym in her stead. Hello, Techno Gym, said Kyle. I'm going to interview you today. Kyle grasped Techno Gym's hand and tried to shake it, but instead tore it off the cardboard frame. Kyle's producer, sensing viral media, pulled the bewildered Rachel out of frame and motioned to the crew to go live. It's Techno Gym's show now. Cameraman moved, lights flashed, and suddenly the studio was on air. Hi, I'm Kyle, said Kyle, and tonight I'm going to interview a very special guest. He pointed at Techno Gym using the dismembered arm. Techno Gym started to smoke from the heat of the lights. Would you like to introduce yourself? Asked Kyle. Knowing Jim would probably not speak, Kyle took it upon himself to be his voice as well. Hi, Kyle, he said, raising the pitch of his voice. I immediately went lower. My name is Rachel May, and I'm a very special guest. Rachel's expression of confusion turned to shock. Well, Rachel, you look way too thin and absolutely terrible, and you should feel ugly. Kyle gave Jim a meaningful stare. Wow, Kyle, he said. I sure wish I could look like you. Techno Jim burst into flames. Instantaneously, the sprinkler system initiated. Curtains of water poured down from the rafters. Within seconds, the production equipment was doused in water. The set was soon abuzz with electrical fires. Kyle's crew abandoned their posts as cameramen and sound mixers to try to put the fires out. As the crew scrambled around, the cameras continued to run. Kyle sat, motionless, staring forward. Isn't this how the Between the Two Ferns movie goes? And then he drowns a celebrity, I don't remember which one. Eventually, the fires were all put out. Kyle's producer shut off the broadcast, leaving Kyle's vacant stare as the final frame. This is fine. Kyle's ratings skyrocketed. Techno Gym became a staple on the show, often ending up destroyed by the end of each episode. That's actually pretty fun. Although Rachel did not come back on the show, her cardboard portrayal did. Rachel was very popular. Kyle interviewed Rachel. We're gonna just reset to the interview because I want to see what else I can do with the bugs. Kyle hurried to the set. Blah blah blah. Approach Rachel. Good evening, Kyle. Kyle responded, scream and spin in circles. Kyle stretched his arms wide, tilted his neck upwards, and was interrupted by his producer telling him and Rachel that it was time to start the show. Insist. Kyle shoved his producer out of the way, spread his arms wide and began to scream loudly. I can't scream that loudly because it's like nighttime. He began to rotate slowly, screaming throughout, lightly brushing his hands against the faces of Rachel and his producer. Oh lord. After several minutes, Kyle was finished. He slowly... After several minutes, Kyle was finished. He slowly put his hands to his sides and smiled. I'm ready, said Kyle. Rachel blinked at Kyle, shrugged and walked over to her seat. You know, those theatre types, those creatives, actors, am I right? A moment after seating, the studio lights brightened and the cameras clicked on. Where's my sound gone? Oh, there. Good evening, everyone, said Kyle, looking up at the camera. Welcome back to Stay Up Late with Kyle. Kyle vomited all of the horrible things he had eaten earlier onto the floor. Rachel looked at Kyle concerned, gave a couple coughs, and decided to play it cool, keep the show running. She's like, so, Kyle. He hasn't finished. She's just like, so, the weather. And Kyle's still just sitting there like, Kyle stopped, then vomited again, then continued with a shaky voice. Tonight, I have the pleasure of interviewing the lovely Rachel May, who needs no more introduction. This is literally just the Eric Andre show at this point. It always has been. Become Rachel May. Yeah. However, said Kyle, suddenly dropping his voice, Rachel May is not sitting next to me. She is not new to this show. She did not walk in before me. In fact, said Kyle, I thought that we would get to continue the game from Rachel's point of view, but no, we're still Kyle. In fact, said Kyle, I am. I am Rachel May. It's me. I am Rachel May. I am Rachel May. That was a bit weird. Rachel looked at Kyle, confused, and silently mouthed the words, You are who? Kyle stood up quickly. Wait. Kyle stood up quickly, threw his arm high above him, pointing upwards. I have never been Kyle, he proclaimed. I have never been the host of the show Stay Up Late with Kyle. Kyle looked and pointed directly at the camera. I am here for but one reason, to interview myself. Oh, thank God, Kyle sat down in his chair. Kyle sat down in his chair and went to produce the notes he had taken earlier. It was then that Kyle remembered that he had not bothered to prepare any notes for the interview. Instead, I have a lot of bugs. And vomited a lot. Realizing he did not know how to handle the situation, Kyle began sweating profusely. But he continued, I've also got shit in my pockets, don't I? Firstly, he said, is your name Kyle? No! Kyle slammed his fist down repeatedly. No! I had said that I had to stop doing that. Kyle slammed his fist down repeatedly, then he stopped talking. A thick, uncomfortable silence hung over the studio. The silence did not end. We still have the rest of the game to play. The silence did not end. The cameras continued to roll. Nobody moved or spoke. Eventually, Rachel got out of her chair and walked off screen. One by one, members of the crew followed suit. Eventually, Kyle was left alone in the studio, cameras still running, silently sitting in frame. This episode of Stay Up Late with Kyle became the longest episode in television history. Kyle continued to sit in front of the camera all night and into morning, desperately wishing it would end. As evening fell again, the crew shuffled back in one by one, getting in places to film that day's episode. Kyle continued to sit motionless, cameras rolling as the crew chatted about their days and got in position. Eventually, the crew officially started the next episode. Kyle was prompted to introduce himself again. Kyle had produced an incredibly artistic episode. Kyle was artistic. Wonderful. Been recording for 43 minutes. We've got time. I'm gonna get some water because my throat is getting sore because there's a lot of talking in this game. There's a lot of talking in this hobby that I'm pursuing, so I'll be back. Sorry. I got some water. If you don't have any water right now, you should go get some. We can stay hydrated together. My therapist says it's a good idea. I don't have a therapist. But all my friends say it's a good idea, so you should do it too. My friends are never, ever wrong, except for when they are. Kyle was artistic. Okay. Reset to interview. Reset. Let's die again. Let's wither away. Kyle withered successfully and died. Oh, shucks. Let's see what else can happen if we're a ghost. Open the closet. Inspect rusty locker. Can we do anything? No. Okay. Oh, he needs the suit. Alright, open the closet. Let's put the suit of armor on. Kyle was unsure of what exactly caused him to decide to wear his armor, but it felt like the right thing to do. After much squeezing and sweating, Kyle managed to wrap the metal suit around his dumpy self, his dump truck of an ass. Kyle returned to the center of the bedroom. What was it? Open the closet. Kyle opened the closet. It was dark and he could only see. Oh, no. Open the closet. Inspect rusty locker. I still don't have a blade? Then what's the point of the suit? I thought that it would come with the... Okay. Alright. This time, let's check in the desk drawer. Let's get the small key. Let's go back to the desk, back to the room. Oh, maybe there's a knife in the pantry. Okay. I don't know why there'd be a knife in the pantry, but Kyle's an interesting guy. Let's move to the kitchen. Let's check the pantry. Kyle wanted to access the pantry, but found it was locked with a small keyhole. Unlock with small key. I'm here doing my thing, baby. Oh, we only have 6 hours left. Alright. This better not take long. The pantry door lock creaked as if it hadn't moved for years, but eventually opened. Instead of an assortment of canned goods and grains, Kyle's pantry stored his massive amount of bottled lard. I remember this. Ignore the pantry. Grab a bottle of lard. Kyle grabbed a bottle of lard and stashed it on his person for later use. Kyle walked to the center of the kitchen. Return to hallway. Leave apartment. Haunt around. Kyle felt a sudden pull on his heart. Had he abandoned his job as a ghost? Was he fulfilling his spooky, ethereal role that he'd accepted while lying in bed this morning? Kyle realized he had no other choice. He must spend his day spooking about. Kyle decided he should make a plan about who or where he should spook. Neighbor Gary, himself, the interview. Fuck yeah. Kyle thought that it would be best to continue his daily course. But with a twist! Today, he would still go to his studio, but instead of conducting an interview, he would haunt. Excitedly, Kyle made his way to the studio early to find the best spot to conduct his ghostly duties. The studio was empty. Being so early, the crew wouldn't arrive for several hours. I think I was on my last hour when I selected this, so they should be here or close. Kyle gleefully... Not that that's how the game worked, but like that should be. Kyle gleefully skipped around the building, finding the best spot for himself to hide. After searching for some time, Kyle decided to hide behind the guest chair. Kyle quickly placed himself down and drew his legs to his chest. Soon, the crew began to arrive and set up for the interview that night. Invisible to all senses, Kyle went undetected except for the massive bottle of lard in his pocket, and also the fact that he was haunting a night suit, which hadn't been in the studio to begin with. He watched as cameras were set up, screens were turned on, and pages were flipped. Within an hour, Rachel walked into the studio. "Hey everyone," said Rachel, smiling kindly. I keep changing her voice. "I'm ready to get prepped. Who do I need to talk to first?" Kyle's producer approached her. "Thanks for being here, Rachel. You should talk to Andrea about makeup first and wait for when Kyle arrives." Those poor, stupid idiots. I'm already here. I'm already here right under your noses. Kyle, knowing he was duping everyone, began to giggle uncontrollably. It was then that he, like clockwork, ceased to be a ghost. Ah, fuck. And we're naked? No, we're in the night suit, never mind. The studio grew silent. Everyone stared at Kyle, head down, clutching his legs and giggling at the floor. Kyle froze. He had found himself in a situation he had not encountered before. He started to crawl out of the studio on all fours, hoping his small form would avoid attracting more attention. Except that he has a massive fucking dump truck of an ass in a full suit of knight armor and a bottle of lard. Everyone wordlessly watched as Kyle slowly made his way across the stage as his ass clapped with every... What do you call a step when you're crawling? Through the production set and out the door. As soon as he was outside the studio, Kyle broke into an all-out sprint. Kyle made his way back to his apartment as quickly as possible. Kyle sat in his kitchen and processed what had happened during his day. He vowed that he would never haunt anything again. Kyle left. We're gonna haunt something again. Enter bedroom to hallway. Leave apartment. Naked ghost. Haunt around. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, accidentally hit neighbor. Kyle believed that Gabby would be delighted to have him spook around a bit. Kyle started to slowly creep to Gabby's door in a very spooky way. He crouched by Gabby's door, cooing quietly and waiting for her to leave so he could cause her a spook. Ooh, ooh. It didn't take long. Soon, Gabby exited her apartment and started walking towards her car. Kyle crept behind her, invisible to all senses, and this time he's naked as well, so there isn't the massive suit of armor or the jar of lard. What is lard? Never mind. Gabby opened the driver's side door and got in. She seemed to be leaving for some more errands. Kyle was struck with a wonderful idea. Kyle started to run to the back of Gabby's car. Perhaps if he could catch her before she left, he could hide in the trunk. Kyle could make noises as she drove. He could follow her around on her errand, knocking over small objects nearby. Gabby put the car in reverse and floored the accelerator. Oh, he's gonna die twice. Invisible to all senses still, Kyle was crushed underneath the back tires of the car, creating a large boop boop right over the boop boop of a dumpy. Gabby figured she had hit the curb. She put the car into forward and floored the accelerator again. Why is she so aggressive at driving? She just floors the accelerator everywhere. She's like, oh crap, I need to get out of my driveway. Kyle became locked in an endless loop of Gabby trying to move her car out of her parking space, being run over repeatedly. As the day started to wane and it drew closer to the time of Rachel's interview, Kyle ceased to be a ghost, per normal. Gabby neither noticed... Gabby neither noticed nor stopped. Kyle was forced to conduct Rachel's interview while being run over. Kyle was forced to conduct Rachel's interview while being repeatedly run over. Kyle's crew moved to the filming set next to... Kyle's crew moved to the filming set next to Gabby's apartment. I love the implication that they're just like, well, this is what Kyle's doing now. They don't stop it. They're not like, hey, Gabby, do you mind stopping hitting Kyle with your car? We kind of need him for an interview tonight, the most important one of his entire career. You know, the celebrity Kyle that you live underneath? Yeah, could you stop hitting him with your car, please? No, instead they're like, Well, fuck it, let's pack up and move. Let's go. Rachel appeared. Kyle asked her many questions. They shared several laughs. The interview was successful. I think that's the most successful interview we've had. The sound of Gabby flooring her cars. The sound of Gabby flooring her car's accelerator drowned out large sections of the episode. Oh, that's so good. Kyle haunted Gabby. Oh, the humor in this game is so good. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's very funny. I think it's British. It seems very British, but it's very funny. Reset. Alright, let's do this a couple more times. Okie dokie, check in desk drawer. Let's grab some CDs. Oh, Kyle began shuffling through the dusty CD pile that held all of his favorite music. Many of the CDs were unlabeled or broken. Take carnival music, classical music, festival music, or dance music. Let's go with carnival music, because Kyle's a dumpy clown. Kyle grabbed a CD with a bright red cover simply labeled Carnival Time. Back to room. Let's eat the bugs this time. Oh wait, Kyle quickly crouched down on the floor, realizing his immediate need for gossip.
What are you so happy about?
What are you so happy about? Kyle firmly pressed his ear into the carpet, hoping to hear some stray words from the neighbors below. Ooh, let's get in with what Gabby's going on about. I heard Rachel May is going to be on a trip out of the country soon. Oh, girlfriend, tell me more. Well, what I will tell you is that every night I don a mask that looks like a bug and fight misdoers. Spider-Man. Oh, spiders aren't bugs. Sorry. I'm terribly sorry to the entire arachnid community. There was a stunned silence. Then a door opened and someone exited the neighbor's apartment. Then a door opened and someone exited the neighbor's apartment. That's quite enough. Kyle returned to the center of the bedroom. Let's go into the hallway. Let's try and force the door open with the forehead. Kyle decided it would be best to try to force the door open with use of his face. Jesus! After smashing his features into solid wood for several minutes, Kyle gained severe short-term amnesia. Oh lord. Alright. Kyle walked into the small hallway. Oh, okay, well, it's time to go anyway. Unless I've forgotten. Have I forgotten that I have an interview? No, okay. Kyle hurried to the set. Sitting close across from him, blah blah. Rachel looked up and smiled. Good evening, Kyle. Kyle responded, forget her name from amnesia. Hello, you? Kyle's ears began to ring from his concussion. Rachel looked at Kyle, slightly confused, but continued smiling. Before she noticed the glazed look in Kyle's eyes, the producer approached. Time to get started, he said, putting a hand on Kyle's shoulder. Let's get stationed. Don't know why I had to do that to myself. I'll do it to you. Hang on. What does that even look like? Does that look like it's on your shoulder? Just pretend that's on your shoulder. It's time to get stationed, Kyle. Kyle sat in the nearest chair, which was Rachel's. After a moment... Kyle sat in the nearest chair, which was Rachel's. After a moment, Rachel hesitantly sat in the host's chair. A moment after seating, the studio lights brightened and the cameras clicked on. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone, said Kyle. My name is... Lard. Kyle made a desperate effort to remember his name, or really anything. Kyle looked at Rachel. Do you know who I am? He asked. Rachel looked back. Confused. It all just plays out like what would actually be on the Eric Andre show. Who are you? Well, if you're not Kyle, I don't know who you are. Rachel smiled sweetly. Kyle made up his mind that he was probably Kyle. Well, he said, I'm Kyle. A long silence followed. Eventually, Rachel spoke again. And I'm Rachel. Hi, everyone, she waved. Hi, Rachel, said Kyle. So, why are we here? Rachel was visibly worried. Funny, she said. Weren't you planning on asking me any questions? Oh lord, the questions we have. I mean, I don't have any ideas, said Kyle. Kyle kept staring at Rachel. Someone coughed. Kyle looked around and noticed the crew. Oh. Hey guys. Who on earth are all of you? He asked. Nobody answered. Kyle got out of his chair and walked off frame, leaving Rachel alone with millions of viewers. Rachel smiled at the camera nervously. Well, she said, let me tell you some knock-knock jokes. Eventually, the producer ended the broadcast early due to technical issues. Kyle woke up in his bed the next day, remembering nothing about what had happened. But I got so much stuff for no reason. Oh. New background. Wait, how do I do that? Oh, whoops. I just opened about 12. I see. I unlock things that I can use in the complete edition, but this is the free edition. I just opened 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different Steam tabs for Kyle is Famous. Complete edition. Alright. Repeat, and we're gonna do everything again. But without getting amnesia this time. Let me just see what stuff I had. Casual clothes, notes, old CD, gossip. Okay. Fuck, I forgot what I had again. Alright. Oh, we're out of time. Kyle hurried to the set. Sir, blah blah. Approach Rachel. More. Answer politely. Shake hands. More. Gossip about neighbor. A moment after seating, the studio lights brightened and the cameras clicked on. Good evening, everybody, said Kyle. My neighbor is a bug vigilante. Oh, wait, I just realized I was saying... Oh. Spat on my mic. Good evening, everybody, said Kyle. My neighbor is a bug vigilante. With nothing more to say on the matter, he fell silent. Good evening, everybody. My neighbor is a bug vigilante. What else do you want from me? She's the #1 public enemy. This becomes the Daily Bugle. Kyle turns into J. Jonah Jameson. Rachel, also on camera. Rachel, also on camera, stared at her hands and wondered when she was going to be introduced. Oh, also, I completely forgot. I said earlier that this seems British. I retract that statement. It must be American because they don't spell neighbor with a U. The producer started cutting to different camera angles to break the tension. Kyle continued to remain silent and stare forward blankly. After several minutes, neighbor Gabby walked out onto set. Hi everyone, she said, smiling hollowly. My name is Gabby, and I'm not a bug vigilante. False. Kyle looked at Gabby and then returned to staring forwards. Gabby began to reply, but was interrupted by a bug-shaped intercom on her belt. Bug girl, it squawked. A robbery's in progress on East 3rd. Report immediately. Gabby threw the intercom on the ground and crushed it under her foot. After a beat, she spoke tightly. Something has come up. Suddenly. And I must go. Gabby left the set. Well, said Kyle. That's all the time we have for tonight. Thanks for joining us, Rachel. Kyle got up, shook Rachel's hand, again, and walked past the cameras, leaving her alone. Not knowing what else to do, the producer ended the broadcast. In the coming days, fans of both Rachel and Kyle dubbed this show a masterpiece of television. I think so. Stay Up Late with Kyle's online pages were updated to reflect this broadcast as the most popular ever. Kyle's producer later tried to have Rachel on the show again, but she was very, very, very busy. She's probably teamed up with Gabby and become another bug vigilante. Or she's a bug supervillain. Spider-Man, the bad guy, eats bug vigilantes. She eats people. That's the big secret about Rachel. That's what Gabby was trying. Oh, because Gabby was trying to say earlier that there's some things that she does that are good, but sometimes it outweighs the bad. And the bad is that she eats people because she's the Spider-Man woman that eats Gabby, the bug vigilante. Yep, I figured it out. Kyle talked about Gabby. Kyle started to grab condiments from the fridge, squirting them into his mouth with both hands. Oh, we've got good food and bad food. Ketchup, horseradish, and mayonnaise entered Kyle's mouth at a rate that soon overwhelmed his ability to swallow. Kyle spewed the excess condiment slurry across the kitchen, covering the furniture and walls. God, am I glad there is no sound effect for that. Kyle continued until all of the condiments had been emptied. Now it's time to go. Kyle hurried to the set, sitting across, blah blah, approach Rachel, answer politely, and I as well, Rachel. Okay, gossip about neighbor, we've done that. Start the broadcast. Good evening, introduce Rachel, vomited everything. Kept the show running, vomited again. Tonight I have the pleasure of interviewing the lovely Rachel May. Motion to Rachel. I'm sure we have a lot to discuss. I'm very ready. Okay. So we're gonna go with our funky notes today. Am I a mother? Rachel. Am I a mother? Kyle looked at her very seriously. Rachel was visibly unsure of how to respond. Well, Kyle, I think you might be a better source of answering that question than I am. But do you think I'm a mother? Asked Kyle, pushing further. Rachel paused for a second before answering. I think you inspire youth to pursue STEM fields, she answered. Because of your dump truck of an ass, which may contain a child. Maybe you are a mother, and that's the anomaly of your dump truck ass, is that there is a baby in it. Kyle asked another question. That's not even a question. We're gonna do the puppy one last. Beef, mashed or blended? A burning question from your fan, said Kyle. Beef. Do you prefer it mashed or blended? Rachel answered promptly, mashed, and no more was said on the matter. Kyle asked another question. Are you guilty? Rachel? Are you guilty? Kyle threw his questions on the floor, stood up and pointed at her. Rachel's eye twitched slightly. Guilty of what, dear Kyle? She smiled disingenuously. Guilty, spat Kyle, of your crimes! That was uncomfortable. Rachel did not answer. Her eyelids both started twitching uncontrollably. Kyle asked another question. I purposefully ran over a puppy. Hey, I ran over a puppy on purpose, said Kyle. Everyone in the studio froze. Kyle's PR manager is about to have an aneurysm. Kyle spread his hands out wide. It's a joke! He started laughing from the bottom of his stomach. Nobody laughed with Kyle. I'm gonna sit down. He stopped laughing and moved on. After reading his final question, Kyle looked up from his paper. Well, Rachel, he said, I think that's all I was planning on asking you. If that's the case, Kyle, may I ask you something in return? Asked Rachel. Why exactly did you decide to wear swimming goggles today? Before Kyle could answer, the camera shut down. The broadcast was over. Kyle returned home, knowing the interview had gone. He felt something perhaps was missing. What was missing? Kyle prepared very well. No, he didn't. Okay, so that's just the same ending. We're going to grab a bottle of lard. We're going back to the kitchen. We're going to check the pantry. We're going to open the pantry. We're going to chug a bottle of lard. Kyle voraciously grabbed the closest bottle, snapped the neck against the wall, and sucked out all of the fat. Oh yeah, that's what lard is. Sucked out all of the fat within a minute. Chug a lard bottle. Kyle wildly sucked down another bottle. He felt very sick. Chug a lard bottle. Kyle's vomit and the lard were mixing in a way to make it hard to tell which was which. I wish I could stop. Finish off the pantry. As Kyle finished the last bottle of lard, he felt a wave of accomplishment come over him. I'm feeling a wave of illness. Walk to the center of the kitchen. Return to the hallway. Leave the apartment. Let's visit the textbook. Let's ask for free samples. Kyle asked the store attendant whether or not they offered any free samples to important customers. The attendant gave Kyle a confused and slightly vacant look. Kyle began to beg for a free sample. Wanting Kyle to leave, the attendant grabbed a decrepit phone meant for spare parts and held it out. Grab it with teeth. Oh, we didn't have time. Kyle hurried to the set. We've got the working phone with us. Are we gonna vomit? Well, of course we're gonna vomit. We have bad food. Welcome back to Stay Up Late with Kyle. Vomited all the horrible things he'd eaten earlier onto the floor. Concerned, vomited again. Lovely pleasure of interviewing Rachel May. Hello, Kyle. Drink lard. Dive right into this bottle, that is! Kyle pulled out his bottle of lard, bit the top off, and chugged it. Kyle's body rejected the lard. He began to spew chunks of lard and digestive fluid in every direction. Everything within a 10-foot radius was immediately covered, including Rachel. Kyle continued to vomit. Rachel bravely fought to stay seated amidst the vomit, hoping to save the show from disaster. Good on you, Rachel. Unfortunately, Kyle's vomit had covered all of the cameras. There was no broadcast. Kyle finished spewing eventually. The broadcast was not recoverable. All present were sent home to try again another day. As Kyle got home, he had made a mental note to refill his lard supply. Kyle consumed. Set to interview. Let's go. Hurried to set, blah blah, approach Rachel, answer politely, shake hands, more, start broadcast, introduce Rachel, more. Oh, whoops. Kyle ejected from his seat and ran out of the studio as quickly as possible. After it became apparent that Kyle was not coming back, the producer ended the episode and everyone went home. Kyle prepared by running away. There were some more things that I could have done there, which I didn't. Had not bothered to prepare any notes for the interview, so we did run away. Knowing he had the eyes of millions upon him, Kyle came up with a solution quickly. Play dead or blame Rachel for lack of notes. Play dead. Kyle slumped in the seat and played dead. Kyle, what are you up to? Asked Rachel, still smiling. Kyle did not respond and hoped nobody would ask questions. Kyle, why are you pretending to be dead? Asked Rachel. I can see you breathing. Kyle held his breath. The producer whispered to Rachel over his earpiece. Give him a couple of slaps across the face and see if he wakes up. Rachel got up from her chair, walked to Kyle and slapped him firmly across the face. Lovely. Rachel slapped Kyle continuously, trying to get him to stop play acting. Other members of the crew stepped into frame to start slapping Kyle as well. Soon, Kyle was lost to the amassment of people around him, all slapping his face with both hands. The slapping went on for many hours. The slapping went on for many hours. Kyle did not wake up. Eventually, Kyle did not need to pretend to be unconscious. Kyle prepared by dying. Alright, let's see what the third one was. Let's blame Rachel. Rachel, I need to be honest. You're not terribly interesting, and I could not think of what I should ask you. In fact, continued Kyle, I would far rather interview a fish than I would you. So. And furthermore, said Kyle, I'm not sure I could tell the difference between you and a fish. Kyle leaned it back in his chair and desperately hoped the blame had been shifted adequately. Rachel glowered at Kyle. Kyle glowered back. Rachel left the studio. Kyle no longer had a guest and spent the next 42 minutes staring at the camera silently. Well, I don't know what you guys are doing here. I really don't know why you guys are here and didn't bring anything for me to play. Or to talk about. I don't really feel like you guys are worth entertaining, actually. kind of just disappointed that you guys wouldn't bring anything along. I couldn't tell the difference between you guys and a bottle of lard, actually. And I've got a big fat dumpy, so I don't even need you guys, really. I have everything I could possibly need in life. So I think you guys should just kind of go. Like, you're welcome to leave whenever you want. You don't get the soothing acoustic guitar of Kyle is Famous. What do you want? What do you want? There's nothing here for you. Wow. This is embarrassing for you, honestly.